Hello everyone, Nostalgator back again. So, we're going to be going over how do we get the backhaul for remote sites on here. I mean, depending on who you ask, they may tell you I'm being freaking stupid about it, or others may go, oh, that's pretty cool. Depends on which camp you're in. Don't mind the mess off to this side of the screen. It's being worked on slowly. So, before you have a Cisco 2951 router. I know I will not be putting a blanking port here because I use it to kind of shove cables in sometimes. And then this one I use as a tie-down spot. So, yeah. I've got two Ethernet cables in here. This teal one, green one, depends on who you ask. All text says it's green. Well, no, teal. So we're going with teal. This is my normal LAN. This is going into GE00, Gigabit Ethernet 00. And this runs, pretty much allows this to talk to the internet. This white one runs all the way down here and plugs into the core LAN switch. This allows me to do SNMP monitoring on this via Unified Event Manager, which is where I monitor everything about the core, including, this is the data kind of portion of it. Well, that plus this one. This is the GGSN router. And then these are the DMZ firewall slash DMZ switch. These ports right here are soft switch, but I've got that disabled because I don't need it. And then the border router, which goes between the DMZ and one of my LANs, not the internet. This does not have any real good way to access the internet because unintentional security feature. AT&T router can't understand anything that's not 192.168.1. So anything I don't want to have access to the internet goes on my other subnet. Because even if it somehow figures out how to route to the AT&T, it can't go anywhere because the AT&T won't know what to do with it. So thanks, AT&T, for keeping me secure. But yeah. So that's all this is there for. It doesn't do anything else, so it's just there for SNMP. Yes, I know I don't have a console port hooked up. I will be I need to make that cable. It's on my list of things to do, so I can telnet into my Cyclades TS2000, and then talk to this. I know I'm working on it. I will get there. But I have here VWIC 3 4MFT T1 also known as 4-port T1 controller cards. If you saw in earlier videos, I had a bunch of these 2-port ones. Even back when I had the 2801 instead of the 2951, I had these cards. I have upgraded, so these will now be going into the remote sites. And all the remote sites use 1921. 1911, the small Cisco router. So I'll be putting those in there for the remote sites. I don't have one handy. I just shipped off my last one that I had handy as a replacement for one that went bad. So yeah, I don't have one handy right now, but just imagine small, like probably from right here to right here, Cisco router. It's like, I think it's, 1921. That's what it is. Cisco 1921. And I've got usually a single port version of those. But since I just ripped these out and I don't need dual ports anywhere, really, I'll just be using one port of them for the remote sites, so not an issue. But pretty much I've got 4-port controller cards. These last 2 ports over here are actually going to be running once I get the DSP module in. Should be sometime Monday, and then I'm going to put it in like Tuesday or something. These last 2 ports will actually be running the T1 line to the Nortel TMDI modules. So that's going to be nice. Ooh, shoot. Wow, this is actually a really hot piece of metal. And granted, it's towards the top of the rack, so all the heat kind of, heat rises. There you go. So you know, this puppy will finally, after months, be connected back to the public switch telephone network. Because I did take out the analog trunk module I had here and replaced it with the analog line card. That way I can start wiring up the Zetron 911 switch. I am still looking for the software for this. Please, for the love of God, if anyone has it, I want it. Please, I need it. Yeah, that way I can start wiring this up, because I do need to find the manual for this, and I'm about to just take this out and start tracing out circuits, because I don't know how it's supposed to be wired. There's a way I think it's supposed to be wired, but then I don't want to break it. So yeah, if you have a manual, or the software, or both, I will get on my knees for you. I want it, please. I will pay you money. So, I have all of these. These are going over T1 crossover cables to the relay panel. It is not filled with relays. Well, kinda, sorta, but it is not like on-off relays. It is for frame relay. Yes, frame relay. That's what we're using. So for right now, though, these are just full fat time slots 1 to 24 T1 lines for each site. For some of the, I mean, since they're dispatch sites, honestly, they need it because Windows updates over a segmented or channelized T1 line will make me cry. Yeah. Plus, I have enough ports now, and worst case, once I get this all moved to its new home in about a month or 2 to 3 months, I'm going to get a second 2-post rack. I know I said I hate 2 posts, but honestly, a 2-post would be just fine for what I want to do with it. And I might get, move the Nortel stuff possibly to the 2-post rack, and then put like the 1U version of this, and just have nothing but more 4 ports in there. So yeah. Though realistically, I mean, I only have the space for 2 more 4-port cards before I need another relay panel, and I am not paying what eBay wants for these right now. I picked this one up for $150, still overpriced. I don't want to. I will pay that much again. I don't want to, but I will if I have to. eBay wants like $350 to $500 for this. There is nothing in here but like very basic circuitry to handle an LED for each of these ports, and like it's ridiculous. But yeah, to actually get another one of these strung up, I need another S6000. Those are going for stupid pricing right now, and I need it specifically with this port on it. 2 of them. I need to buy another one of these expensive cables. I already need to buy another one for right now anyways. I actually need to buy 3 more because I want to get a second core router, so it's up and redundant like everything else is, except for the exit router. We don't talk about the exit router. But yeah, so that's all we're doing, and then we're running that over DMVPN. I think it's like dynamic VPN or something. Basically, fancy IPsec, where we have a single port version of these VWIC 2s. We just have single port versions, and that's running over another crossover cable. T1s 2500 like this, but they have a T1 CSU DSU here. This one doesn't because I don't need it for here. So yeah, that's all we're doing. And if you do notice, oh no, what happened to this cable right here? So I did some changes because I realized how I did it before was probably pretty stupid, and honestly I was kind of doing it because I'm kind of curious in how that would work. So now, site 105, which is this kind of section right here, plus this, plus the half of the switch. I had that. This used to be set up where it was a standalone console site. So data would flow up here to the core router, come out port 3, down here to the backhaul switch, which is this section, because I don't want to put another switch when I don't need it. would come out the backhaul switch down here, and then I would have a 100 megabit link between the two. So, because of the amount of stupidity I'm doing, that 100 megabit link is no longer good for my purposes anymore. So now it's running as a core co-located site. So instead of it coming up here to the core router, if you notice, this is now actually flashing because it's not being fully saturated. All this traffic is going solely via the gateways. So it comes out, let's say VLAN, the zone management VLAN or whatever, the call processing, whatever, to the gateways. Gateways say, okay, sending it over to 120 site 105. Comes out, these three Ethernet cables right here, which are in a trunk for that VLAN, down here to the three of them right here on the switch. And now I have a 3 megabit link for site 105. I am working on being able to actually afford the stupid Arubas, the fancier ones that have like the 10 gig one, and then I'll do a 10 gig trunk. I have one of the DAC cables for it, but it doesn't work for here because these ports are dual personality. It would work, and I would get a gigabit DAC trunk, but I mean, I actually need these gigabit ports, surprisingly. Same thing with these two. I actually need these gigabit ports, so I'm kind of SOL until I can get full gigabit switches. Someone's sending me some, two E3800s that will basically upgrade this to full gigabit and have two 10 gig SFP ports. So that'll be nice, so I don't have to go out and get the, the 2630F, I think is the Aruba version, the black one. I purchased one, and honestly, let's take a tangent real quick. Yeah, real quick tangent, around the back of the rack. So I purchased one, and quite honestly, compared to the, what did I have before? 1 second. What is that, 2910 or something? Yeah, compared to the 2910 AL48G that I had before, which is right there below it, I really don't see the difference. I mean, yeah, it's got 10 gig ports, and I will actually be taking advantage of those eventually. It's on the list of things to do, but I mean, yeah, I bought it for parts only. I haven't noticed what's bad about it. I'm getting full data rate on everything, so it's like not like I can refund it. So yeah, And no, I'm not using the 2910 for the core switch because I would rather unplug everything and having to replug everything back in once instead of having to do it a bunch of times. So for right now, sticking with the 2620, which I know isn't, for those of you who know Moto, isn't technically supported as a core switch. I did it anyways because once again, it was cheap, and I'm taking what I can get and making it work. And so far it is. But yeah. So that's at least how we're doing the backhaul. It works really well. Haven't had an issue with it. Once we figured out a few of the a few settings we had to do on the domain controllers to actually make it work with T1. Because come to find out, network level authentication does not like how slow and how little bandwidth T1 has. So we just disabled it instead of trying to make it work. We think there's a latency setting in there somewhere that we can adjust, but we didn't really bother finding it. So it's not really a big issue. Next big upgrade that I'm hoping to do is replacing this G7 with a G8. That way, one, they match, and two, something power saving, something. I don't care. I mean, I use them. They're both in power cap mode, anyways, because there's only so much the stack of UPSs can do, and that one doesn't even work right now. I'm either going to get new batteries for it, or I'm just going to get another one of these and replace it. So I actually quite like these, because I can get them for cheap with new batteries, and they run everything just fine. It's got about 20-minute backup. They each run separate sets of systems, so they're not in series. My kind of next project, besides replacing this, is getting two more, maybe three if I replace that and have that run something else. Getting two more of these and basically doubling up their capacity, running them in series. So that way, hopefully, I can get up to 40 minutes. So, yeah, I still outlast with my main battery backup system that's running my computers and stuff. I still outlast AT&T. So, there you go. Though we are saying goodbye to the GTR. It is getting moved out of the rack soon, and it is getting replaced with a Quantar, running over V24 to these two ports. If you see, they're now lit up because I've configured them. That doesn't mean I'm getting rid of this. No, I'm not stupid. I know what I have. Now, if you were to give me a very entertaining offer, multiple of thousands of dollars, then yes, I would get rid of it. I would like to at least recoup what I paid for it. But this is actually getting moved into the portable site that I'm building. I have another chassis I picked up from a friend. I have half the cards I need, but I need a GCP chassis so I can have a site controller. And kind of the plan with that is to do a portable TDMA site. So I have one control channel and then two talk paths. Downside, I would have to basically do an STA anywhere I took it, but that's not really big of a deal, and I'll eventually figure out how to do a trunked itinerant. I know they're out there. I know you can do it. It's just I don't really want to pay someone to look into it for me yet. I'll just do an STA if I ever need to use it, which isn't that often. But yeah, eventually we'll get to it. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much where I am. That's kind of the big upgrade, is I now have more T1 ports. So that's what everyone needs in their life, is more T1. Then we also have that just kind of chilling out up there. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I might take out the MoSCAD box, because that doesn't really do much right now. I need to hook back up the power fail relay to it, and it also there's a lead coming off the back of this, which does general alarms. So I might eventually use it, but for right now, it just kind of sits there looking pretty and taking up what? I know it looks like it takes up 1U, but realistically, that's it's about 2U up here. I could probably put those in. But yeah, I'll eventually figure out what I want to do with it. So yeah, that's kind of where we are. Everyone needs more T1 in their life, so yeah, that's how we're going. As always, if you happen to have spare S6000s or relay panels, or I'm not going to go around asking for GGMs. I can get those, and I really don't need more. But if someone has a spare relay panel and a spare, 2 or 3 more S6000s with a CWR panel port on it, please let me know. I will take those off your hands. I will make them disappear for you. I got you covered. Send them to me for disposal. So, yeah. You all have a great day.